Pascal, just maybe take us through that period where, we saw you after the game against the Spurs, and then next thing you know, you got a teammate, and it's, Jakob, what was that like for you?
It was great. Awesome. I think obviously, we felt like it was a long time coming, just because you always hear the talks about it. But yeah, happened, I'm happy. I'm sure he's excited. I'm excited. Just know him and what we built, before, and then I was just having him back, and knowing that, again, like he's coming to familiar place, with familiar faces, and we just hope that he comes in and again what he's been showing around and just helping us a little bit. So it's great.
Obviously, both of your games have grown quite a bit since you played together. Do you feel like you guys will pick up where you left off, like the guys that even Fred included
right.
in that? Or
I guess we'll see. We'll see. Yeah, I think time will tell. But for sure, know each other's game, and obviously he's developed, and I've done the same. But at the same time, I think that the chemistry is always there. And it's just easier when you just really know somebody to just go out there and play. And when it doesn't work out, talk it out. That's the easiest part.
Where have you seen the biggest area of growth in his game since he was here?
Obviously, I felt like I was a little stronger than him before, but now he might be a little stronger than me. He's a big presence down there. His touch is continuing to get better. That was always good. But also, his passing. Usually I used to pass him the ball, but I feel like, maybe he might pass me the ball a couple more times. But yeah, like just his vision and his understanding of the game, and just again, like just sometimes just having someone that has that presence down there, I think it's gonna help.
How much more confident or how much better do you feel about this team going forward with him back there? You haven't really had that presence.
Yeah, I think again we'll see, right? Like I think for us it's just again, I like our team just continue to get better every single game, every single day. We work really hard as a team to continue to get better, and I think just having another somebody that's going to come in is going to commit to what we're doing, and that's coachable, that's going to be understanding. He's going to be about our team and all those things. So like it's great to have him, and I just think that again we're going to see how much it helps. But I know for sure that like when we have to play, one of those big guys, I don't have to guard a big guy, so that would be good. So yeah.
How do you think his passing will change the way the offense looks?
I don't know. We'll see.
Was there any sense of relief? Just trade deadlines passed, everything's official now. Any sense of relief after there's no more noise?
It's noise, right? Like that's the NBA. You're used to it. This period of time always comes and goes, like they always do. You're either on the same team or you're somewhere else.
You've never been through a trade deadline like this on this team, right? There's never been this much talk.
There's never been?
About this team, this much talk and this much speculation for this many players?
Yeah, I have no idea. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know the difference. I just know that trade deadline is always hectic, and obviously like just seeing around the league players being moved to different places, like it's crazy. I felt like, what did they say? It was like 1 a.m. places, like when trade was happening, like it's crazy. So yeah.
It felt like there was a possibility that some key pieces might be traded away from this team. Instead, you added a guy who could help now. Does it feel like a vote of confidence from the front office? Because the year obviously hasn't gone perfectly.
You could say that. I think for me, it's just, again, like I'm focused on every single day going out there, playing the game, and I think, we have, this is our team, and we got to figure it out. That's always been our mindset, and I just feel like no matter what was going to happen, like, my mindset would have been to work hard, wherever.
Yeah. Do you feel like a little more, not that you weren't ambitious anyway, but you're looking at, you guys are in 10th, you're whatever 4 games under 500, but your rotation is deeper now. You've got a really good quality, experienced big that you're off familiar with. Do you think okay, we can play above what our record says right now? I think
that your response, although your first initial thought was, I always thought that. So I think that again, like that's just being a player and understanding that. Obviously, we're not where we want to be, but we strive to be better, and every single day we take the steps to go through that. yeah, sometimes it's going to be hard. Sometimes it's not going to work out the way you want it to. But I always have confidence in myself, and I have confidence in my team and my teammates, and I see them work, and I see everyone wanting to get better. That's all I can go off of, and I think the rest, like, it's just outside noise, and we got to focus on us, on ourselves, and find ways to get better. And then obviously, having Yak and just continue to grow.
When Masai talked yesterday about the struggles so far, he said at times earlier in the season maybe things got a bit individual, and now everybody sort of knows there has to be this no-nonsense approach. Do you feel that in any tangible way, a shift in sort of focus?
I don't know. You could tell me better.
I mean, that's just what he said. And
yeah, I don't know. Yeah, that's Masai, right? That's what he said. Yeah.
He said that he had talked to guys, though, too. He had told guys, I think one of the words he used was selfish, is that there had been not a huge element, but an element of selfishness, and that he had talked to guys about that as the season had gone on. Is that, I think individual is probably a better word for it. But because you guys,
that's why I used it.
The difference between last year and this year, can you see that difference?
Yeah, like you guys do the better job analyzing everything. Yeah, like I go out there and focus on the game, man, trying to get better, do everything that I can to help the team win, and that's all I really care about. Like, yeah, I think you guys, like, how long was this press conference the other day? I felt like y'all had a lot of questions. I can ask him. Yeah, it was a lot of time, right? Yeah, I'm sure you guys have all y'all questions, and he can answer that. Like, I'm focused on the game.
Pascal, are you going to take any steps to kind of make Jakob a little more comfortable? Like,
I'm sure he's comfortable. Like, he knows around. Obviously, it's a little different team, but yeah, like first place. I mean, I don't know. He got to find a place. There's a lot of things for him to do, but nah, definitely not. Yeah, he's gonna have to find his way. But I'm sure he's okay. He'll be all right. But again, he knows around, so he's gonna be okay. And we have people around to make sure that that's happened, and I'm always there, obviously.
Pascal, you mentioned that it felt like a long time coming. Do you feel like the team maybe carried that weight a little bit?
I mean,
just now when talking about Yak, maybe feeling that need for a big, that being a long time.
What do you mean carry that weight? I didn't get a question. Sorry.
Just like knowing that you have this weakness, knowing that it needs to be addressed. Do you feel like maybe that's something that?
Nah, I think we always we always play. Like at the end of the day, like I always say, like I'm a basketball player, man. I play the game and I come in and like I can't make players come here. I can't make trades. Like that's not my job, Like, and when I go out there and I play with the team that I have, and I think that's everybody's mentality. And it's the same thing when people get injured and things like that. Like you just focus on the game and next man up, and you continue to work. And for me, like I always feel like whatever. I mean, if I have to be the point guard, I have to be the center. Like I don't really care. Like I want to play basketball. I want to help my team win, and that's all I care about. And yeah, like I don't. That's always been my focus, and I think for a lot of guys it's that way too. But yeah.
Sorry, when you have a guy like that anchoring the back line of the defense, knowing that he's back there protecting the rim, how much pressure does that theoretically take off of everybody else on the floor?
I mean, I wouldn't say taking off pressure because we still got a guard. Like we all got a guard. Like at the end of the day, but it's just another layer of protection. Like that helps. But I think that like the focus got to be the same. Like you got to stop your man, and it's just worst case scenario you have some help, but. Other than that, like I think our focus should be the same.
We talk a lot about kind of the darker sides of the NBA business, especially around the trade deadline when guys are shipped off. You know what I mean? But
it's really dark, right?
No, but I think like this is kind of the opposite of that, where obviously the front office brought Yak in because he's a good player, but also you're friends with him. He has some relationships on this team. So what does that mean when the front office does bring a guy like that that's well liked and it's kind of the opposite side of the bad side of the business?
I think obviously, I mean, I don't think it was a favor in any way. It's a need. Someone that's good at his job, does it to the best of his ability, and then it helps that he knows around and people know him, and he was drafted by this organization, and I think that's literally like it fits in both ways. Like we need a big, we got a big, and what like how much better could he be if he's a big that you know already, that you drafted, that you vetted, and you know everything about. So I think that's how I see it. Like I don't think I see it any other way.
Talk about the business and kind of the dark side with Yak coming in, Cam left. So I'm curious, what was your relationship with him, and if you reached out or talked to him?
Yeah, no, Cam's funny. Like, so funny. he's a great guy. Just having him around, man, like he has good energy about him. Doesn't talk as much, but like you can always feel it. He's just his laugh. He's like just crazy laugh every time he laughs. But nah, he's a good guy. I'm sure he's gonna be okay. And he's hopefully he just gets to play, right. Like he'll go somewhere, get to play, be on the court, and continue to show. But I see him work every day, and like obviously it's sad, but I just hope that he goes there and he's playing and he gets to be on the floor.
What was it like for you defending up positions? You conveyed a joy that you're not going to have to do that as much. What was it like taking on those big guys?
That's what it is, right? It's part of the job.
Thank you. So, how have the last 4.5 years been?
You know what? Pretty good. I feel like it's flown by. In general, like life in the NBA just flies by. But yeah, it's been good. I'm happy to be back.
Is this convenient timing, having been here on Wednesday? And did you have any idea at that point that something like this could happen?
I mean, there was plenty of rumors. Obviously, you never know for sure. I thought there was a chance that they would trade me, but I didn't know exactly where. I knew there was multiple teams that were interested, so it was still very much up in the air. I was a little distracted these last couple of days, but yeah, it's good to just have it over with, and I'm glad it worked out this way.
Obviously, it's never easy being traded in the middle of the season, but does the familiarity with the city and the organization sort of help ease that transition?
Oh, it definitely helps. Yeah, even just getting to the facility yesterday, like watching shoot around today, like it all feels familiar. Like the halls are still the same. Like everything looks the same. So yeah, that definitely helps.
What do you think you take away from the 4 years playing, 4.5 years playing for the Spurs, playing for Pop, and how did that you evolve as a player because of that experience?
I mean, I feel like I got opportunities to grow as a player there. Played many different roles when I first got there. I was kind of working myself into the system, and then over the years, our teams got younger, and I had to take on more and more responsibilities. So I think it really helped me grow as a player, develop my game. So yeah, I really appreciate that, and also I think my time there was great. I had great coaches along the way. Obviously, Pop, taught me a lot on and off the court. Like he's one of those guys that you can really talk to about things in life. So yeah, I really appreciate my time in San Antonio for all of that.
Did you become a wine guy? Did he teach you how to be a wine guy?
I'm from Austria, so technically I was probably a wine guy before that, but I don't think anybody's getting up to Pop's level.
What was your reaction to finding out officially, I guess, however they told you, where you were coming?
Yeah, I was excited. There's a little bit of mixed emotions. Like I'm leaving a life behind in San Antonio. I was there for 4.5 years, but I was definitely excited just to get out there and this past season was a little bit tough because we've been losing games. So I was excited to get out there and play winning basketball again. Try and play for a playoff spot. Go out there and compete again. So those are things that very very much excited me. And then also just having guys here that I was familiar with, getting back with P, Fred, OG, all those guys. Should make for a fun year for sure.
Is there any way to compare how you felt and your level of surprise being traded the first time versus this time?
It was very different. Very different experiences. I feel like the first time around, it caught me off guard a little bit more. Once you've been through it once, it becomes easier, I guess. And then also just this being in the middle of the season, the game here made it a little bit weird. I'm not gonna lie, but. So I feel like there are different experiences, but I definitely learned from the first time being traded, so it didn't feel as confusing, I would almost say.
Pascal was saying how when you guys first started to play together, he was stronger than you, and now you might be a little bit stronger than him. Can you confirm that this was the case?
It's all lies. Maybe back in college, he might have been stronger than me, but...
And how have you seen his game change since you last went on court together?
I was talking about him a couple of days ago. He's developed into a great basketball player. He's really developed his offensive game to a point where he has so many different weapons that he can go to, like, and he's making really good reads out of it. It's one thing to like have all the skill, but then like to apply it in the right moments and like to make the right reads, make tough shots. It's not easy to do, and he's definitely shown that by making another jump this year. He's playing great.
What do you feel like the biggest area of growth in your game has come since you were here?
I think a lot of it has come with maturity, just like trying to read the game, play different types of roles. Like I've played some very supportive roles, and then lately I've been playing more active, like trying to be a little bit of a playmaker out there. Like obviously, yeah, you develop all this stuff. Like your touch gets a little bit better, your shot gets a little bit better. Like all these things, like these skills develop. But I think just reading the game, like everything's like slowing down, making the right reads, making plays for my teammates has really been something that's I've been focusing on lately, and I've been having more success with.
Speaking of playmaking, Masai yesterday was saying how sometimes this team played for themselves a little bit this year, and it's a team that ranks towards the bottom of the league in assists. So how much do you look forward to stepping in and kind of helping with the ball movement? And also how, as your career has grown, have you come to enjoy being a playmaker more?
I've always enjoyed that. Like I've always tried to look for the extra pass. I always tried to look for the best possible shot. So yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. For now, I'm still trying to figure out the system. You know, like trying to figure all this stuff. So I'm probably gonna try and like make my way into this system, and then like as I get more comfortable, I'm gonna try and pick my spots to like really put my game and like the things that I can bring to the table, and like trying to apply those to the team, and like hopefully help us win more games that way.
What's the key to the spacing with when you're going to be playing in lineups with kind of Siakam, Barnes, and yourself, three guys who aren't, high volume 3-point shooters? How do you guys make the spacing work in those lineups?
We've had a lot of experience over the last year or two with limited spacing, so I think it's about just finding your spots. Like part of that was me making plays. So like when I flashed the high post, like we'd have a lot of cuts, stuff like that. Like when I know that P or Scotty are trying to get to a post ISO or something like that, like find the right spacing. Even though you might not shoot it, find the right spacing to still stretch the court, and then cut at the right moment, like to make the defense react to it. And then you have other guys out there shooting on the court that might get open from that. So there's many different ways to do it. Like there's definitely things that defenses can take away from us, but then we'll have advantages on other ends, like for example on the offensive glass and stuff like that.
Your last full season here, the 18 with bench mob and all of that, you guys were such a great bench unit, and almost had your own style within the team a little bit. And Nick, I know, had a lot of input there. So is there some carryover, like when you're sitting in shoot around here, is some of that stuff kind of seem familiar, or is everything kind of changed?
I think it's still tough to say. I think there's definitely some carryover, just like with the flow of the offense. Like I think back then, if I remember correctly, like our second unit, just like the ball was just moving right to left to right, very quickly compared to our starting unit who played more of a slower pace. So I think that definitely carries over, just like the pace and the activity, like just swing the ball left to right all over the court. More detail. It's tough to speak on right now. Like I said, I haven't seen it long enough yet, but I'm sure I'll be able to figure that out.
Why did you change your number? Why number 19?
I knew you guys were going to ask me that. I changed it up because I felt like it was a new chapter here. Like I felt like the 42 was my first 2 years here, and then I wanted to change it up. And then 19 was personal. I'm not going to tell you guys.
You're going into a contract here. We always ask these kind of questions. How focused are you on that, and could you envision, this being an option if you in free agency?
Definitely. I think they wouldn't have traded for me if they don't see it as a long-term option for me. It's definitely something I can see for the long term as well. I mean that's summer stuff that I'm gonna worry about then. Like now I'm trying to focus on like getting some wins, getting back to a playoff spot. Like obviously for me to try and figure out this team, like there's a lot of new faces out there that I gotta build some chemistry with. So that's my main focus right now, and then I'll figure out all the rest when it comes summertime.
Jakob, you mentioned that the first time you got dealt, it hit you harder. how much did you kind of stay in contact with like Fred, Pascal, OG in the beginning, and did it kind of get easier over time, or did you just like stay in touch with them throughout?
I mean, I think the trade itself hit me pretty hard just because it was a new experience. But then once I got to San Antonio, it was definitely a positive experience for me. But I definitely stayed in touch with those guys more than anybody. Probably Pascal. I was probably the closest with him like when I was here. But yeah, even OG and Fred, like we talk to each other all the time. Like when we see each other in the summer, like when we played against each other, all this stuff. Like it's fun to keep up with those guys, and it's nice that you can just kind of pick it back up where you left off. Now that I'm back here.
When you'd come play here, like obviously DeMar would get these great ovations, but you get really nice ovations too. Did you recognize that the fan base really appreciated the short time that you had here?
Yeah, I did notice that. I still get some cheers, still get recognized in the street every now and then. So that's fun to see for sure. And yeah, I remember from back in the day that the fans here are very passionate. So I'm very much looking forward to that again.
Do you anticipate playing tonight?
I honestly have no idea. Like people keep asking me if I'm going to play. I feel like it's not up to me. If they let me, I'm definitely going to play. I think it just depends on like the trade getting cleared and all this stuff.
You have a lot of experience now, kind of mentoring younger players, playing with young teams in San Antonio. Precious and Koloko, what do you kind of know about their games, and how much are you looking forward to kind of mentoring those young bigs here?
I mean, I know them from playing against them. So like I feel like I've only seen a small part of it, but yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that. I feel like this is a young team. There's a bunch of guys that like are around my age, maybe a little bit older, but in general, it's still a pretty young team. So yeah, I think we can all help each other grow. They're already helping me out there trying to understand the plays and stuff like that a little bit better, and hopefully I can help them with my experience a little bit as well.
Thanks, everybody.
Thanks.
Thank you.